everybody, what's going on? Hope you're having a safe and awesome week. Got a Kickstarter update video for you. Now, this is probably going to be a serious down to business video because as you can see, I'm wearing my Dunder Mifflin shirt. So, it's all business today. Anyway, getting right into it. First Kickstarter I'd like to talk about is Pocus Hocus. Now this campaign has 5 days left as of the posting of this video. Brief synopsis on it is a Victorian era magician named Pocus Hocus sells his soul for actual magical powers to a demon. And years later he regrets it and he sets out to redeem his soul from said demon. Now this is already funded, so anyone else who pledges, it just aids in the stretch goals and probably funding of the next issue. Now, this is illustrated by Brian Bellondo, colored by Jason Smith, written by Alan Dunford and Will Radford. Variant covers by Kit Wallace and Stephanie Mooney. Lettered and designed by Dave Lentz. Now, Dave Lentz is actually how I found this Kickstarter. You know, I just got to ask you, Dave, do you happen to have like a third book on Kickstarter right now, just so I can get a trifecta of Kickstarter books from you? Because I've already backed this, and I backed Good Boy. But anyway, that's Pocus Hocus. The concept seems really cool. The couple of pages on the Kickstarter that they had, I read. I liked the art style is really cool, so be sure to check that out. Now, speaking of Dave Lentz and Good Boy, the second Kickstarter I'd like to talk about is Good Boy. They have 12 days left. They have smashed their goal. They were fully funded within 3 hours of the project. Okay, they're really kicking ass on this campaign. I got the ash can from my local comic shop and the Source Point Press Ashcan subscription service, which I did a video that I dropped in the middle of the night, so check that out. Now, the really cool thing about this campaign, I wish I could have found Pocus Hocus earlier. I just want to kind of go back to that campaign real fast. I wish I would have found it earlier so I could have done a lot more research and pushed a lot harder. But I'm going to talk about this and the Good Boy Kickstarter probably till there's no time left. But anyway, back to Good Boy. Garrett and Dr. Christie did a Facebook Live a couple days ago, and they were looking for ideas for stretch goals and things like that, and I was throwing just random stuff out. You know, I was like, hats or a Flint Sparks collar, all kinds of crazy stuff. And then I happened to say, well, what about these two? So the two that I said, Garrett ended up typing in. So the tiers for 24,000 and 25,000 were two of the ideas that I had that Garrett used, and that's super awesome. Like that blew my mind that he actually used these. The tier for 24,000 is a digital bundle of Garrett's and Dr. Christie's comics that they've done. Just not all of them, of course, but just, a bundle of them. Because I thought, people love digital content, so I thought that'd be really cool, and he used that one. And then for the 25,000 one, I suggested enamel pins. So I just thought that was really cool that, he thought those were good ideas. So, folks, it always pays to watch creators that you like on live. Okay, if you got the time to do it, do so. You never know if an idea of yours will be used. So I was super psyched for that. We ended up splitting a pretty big pledge. I mean, big for us. And we added another favor. And the favor is, I guess it's kind of like the currency in the Good Boy universe. And if you remember John Wick, which is a movie Dr. Christie just hates. I don't understand the hate she has for John Wick. Total sarcasm. She loves John Wick. She talks about it all the time. But, in John Wick, they have those coins that they pay for the Continental, and, John pays, I can't remember assassin's name from the first movie, but pays him to watch the female character that was trying to kill John in his room. So the favors are kind of like that. The assassins in this universe use it as, you know, people's words don't mean much, but money talks kind of thing. Which those coins were actually upgraded to 25% bigger coins, thanks to one of the stretch goals. So that's pretty awesome. Now, this was written by Garrett Gunn and Dr. Christy Blanche, art by Kit Wallace. It's going to be published. I believe that it's coming to comic shops. This is like a specialty kind of thing, I guess. Garrett, please feel free to correct me as always. But it's published by Source Point Press, or it's going to be. And lettered by Dave Lentz. Like I said, I've backed in the same month two projects that you've worked on, which more than happy to do. You always work on really cool books, so there's that. Now, once again, when it comes to both of these Kickstarters, you know, I love doing Kickstarter videos. I think for some reason a little more than reviews and stuff, because yes, I write some notes down, but most of this is off the top of my head. With reviews, I can't remember anything, so I always have to write every little detail down. But you know, these Kickstarters would survive. Okay, they don't need me to make videos. They don't need the channel to make videos. They'll do. I said this in the video where I said I'd probably talk about this again, but you know, they don't need our help. The main goal for us is projects that we care about and projects we are passionate about. We love trying to push, because while none of these, and I'm not just talking about Good Boy and Pocus Hocus. I'm talking about all the Kickstarter videos that we've done. They would all survive without us. But if we, as a channel and as fans, can reach one more person to give them that little bit more funding, because a lot of this funding, I've said in the video a long time ago, a lot of the times that's used to pay for the next issue and sometimes for stretch goals. The money, what they do with the money is kind of up to them. You know, if we could just reach that one person that probably wouldn't have heard about this any other way, then for me it feels like we've accomplished something here. But both of these Kickstarters I'm super excited for. Like I said, Pocus Hocus, check it out. It seems like a super interesting story, and that's actually, I want to say that the writers, this is the first comic they've written. And if either one of you guys watch this video, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I read that this was the first comic y'all have written, and it looks pretty cool. And you know, Good Boy, come on, it's Garrett. I've unfortunately never read anything by Dr. Christie, and I'm going to remedy that soon. But I know Garrett writes some wild stories, but they always end up working out in the end. Please be sure to check out Pocus Hocus before it ends, and Good Boy. Pocus Hocus is ending in 5 days, like I said, so make sure, if any of what I've talked about for that one sounds interesting, make sure you get on it so you don't miss out. Good Boy will have 11 more days. I really think that in 11 days you guys are going to make over your last stretch goal. I really do. I think 26,000. I want to shoot for 28, maybe 29. 30 is a big number. Maybe that's a little overreaching, but I think y'all are going to get close to that. That's it for the Kickstarter stuff. I do have 2 channels that I'd like to plug, just because, you know, every now and then I like to talk about YouTube channels that I like. Now one of them is not comic related at all, and that's Dead Meat. I've been watching that channel for a long time. They just hit 5 million subscribers. What Dead Meat is, it's a horror fan channel, and the main person on there, his name is James A. Janice. He does these things called kill counts, where he tallies up the victims in all your favorite horror movies. So it's really cool. It's one of those things where, yeah, you could sit there if you've watched the movie and go back and, you know, watch the kill count for it if he's done it, and there's a lot of humor, there's a lot of facts in it. It's just really enjoyable. And even if you haven't seen the movie, there's some of his kill counts he's done that after I've watched it, for me personally, it didn't ruin the movie. I wanted to go watch the movie after watching it. And he also does a podcast with his fiance. I'm not going to worry about tagging him or anything in this video, and don't worry about sharing this with him. He's said multiple times he doesn't really watch other YouTubers, but I just wanted to put that out there. Like I said, they just hit 5 million subscribers, so that's awesome. So if you're a horror movie fan, you know, go check out Dead Meat. The next one I'm going to talk about, I happened to find because of a particular guest that was on the show. And this is called Comic Book Food Chain. Now, what's interesting about this is, I think it's a trio. I've only seen 3 people, like 3 main people on it. And the first one is comic writer Frank Gogol, who I just did a review for No Heroine, his book No Heroine, who should also totally be asked to write the next Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic. Because apparently he's a big fan and really wants to write it, so I'm just going to throw that out there. But after reading No Heroine, you know, I really want to go back and read a bunch of Frank's books now, because No Heroine, I had a good time with it. It's a really good read. Felt a little short, but then again, I've only read the first issue, so, you know, it's one issue. Of course it's going to feel short. There's also, and I'm sorry, I don't know too much about the other 2 guys on the show, but there's another gentleman by the name of Anthony, or they call him Ant, from Bird City Comics. And then there's a guy named Yeezy, who's an avid reader, that's on the show with them as well. The show is super funny. It's informative. Definitely not for kids, though. Now, the reason I found out about this channel is they actually had Garrett on this past Tuesday night. And, you know, while I was at work, supposed to be working, and I was working, I listened to it. I wasn't really watching it. So if anybody from my job sees this, I can't get in trouble because I was just listening to it. But they had Garrett on there Tuesday night, and man, it was such a good time. Like, it was so funny. Near the end of it, they played a game called Drunkavision, and Garrett took on Ant to guess these pixelated upside down Pokemon. And Garrett absolutely crushed it. Sorry, Anthony. Garrett had you on that game. But it was really fun to watch. Yeah, so make sure that you check out those channels. Sub to them if they interest you. Hit the bell for the notifications, all that good stuff. But that's going to do it all for me today, folks. I hope you enjoyed the kind of back-to-back-to-back videos that we did. There was just, the Source Point Ash Can just happened to come in at a time where I was like, man, I need to talk about this before I do this Kickstarter video. Then we already had the video that dropped Friday. We already had that set up since last Friday. We scheduled the videos throughout the week, and I was just like, man, this came in, I need to do a video for it. Then I was like, oh man, I need to do a Kickstarter video, so I'll throw that up on Saturday. We got this week planned out. Who knows, we might throw in some extra videos. As always, thank you guys for watching. You know, like, share, comment, subscribe. Always comment. We read any and all comments that come in, good or bad. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. Let us know some things in the future that maybe you'd like to see us do. But that's going to do it all for me today, folks. You stay safe, you stay healthy, and I will catch you next time. Later, tots.